Greetings everyone, Michael Walker, Secondary Technology Integration Specialist with you today talking about thinking maps and the ways that you can use technology to create thinking maps. One of the first things that you think about when you see a slide, especially like this, is, whoa, so many choices, which one is right for me? Um, Scott and Isa and Mark and Mary are going to be going through tonight and talking about some specific aspects of thinking maps and how they work, that you start with a blank canvas and build them. Now, certain software is going to work really well for this. Others work kind of well. And you're also going to be discussing tonight the difference between a graphic organizer, which many of these things are, and an actual thinking map. And that's why NUA and Dr. Hiley, I believe, developed the Thinking Map software that is available. We have a license for that over at Valley View and the high school. And so I'll talk about that real quickly first. When you use the software, and if you need it installed, contact Ryan Kennedy over at Valley View or contact Josh over at the high school and they can help you get that installed. But it's specific to the thinking map philosophy. So you're going to only be able to create the given maps that are part of the thinking map concepts, the 8 different maps. But it's created specifically for thinking maps, so that's a good thing. It isn't quite as easy to get images and things on there that sometimes kind of help with learning, but you can create as you go. So you start defining which map you're going to start with, and then you're adding content to it. It uses the NUA language, which is another positive benefit of the thinking map software, so that you're actually kind of immersed in that kind of language and philosophy as these are being created. It does work on Windows, and I don't believe right now we have it on the Mac side. So from a BYOD standpoint, with different kids and different devices, we're kind of stuck with just on our devices this thinking map software and the licensing. As I said, available at Valley View and the high school. So here's an example of one, and you can tell it's from 4 years ago because it's talking about Obama and McCain. And you can see kind of the way it's set up and how you can create this. It happens to be a double, what kind of a map? Yes, it's a double bubble map, isn't it? On this particular topic. Another piece of software we have in the district that you can use is Inspiration or Kidspiration. Now this, depending on the building and your licensing, it might be on the K drive when you log in and you'll see Kidspiration or Inspiration. There's some definite advantages to this software for when you're developing a thinking map. For example, well, first of all, it is licensed in some buildings. But you can take your map once you've got it created and you can pull it into what's called outline view. Along with that, you can take the map and the outline and export them into Word, which allows you to then begin the writing process and have all that information right there, and it kind of organizes things really nicely for you. So those are some things about Inspiration and Kidspiration. Disadvantage, it does cost money. I'm cheap. I don't necessarily like to pay for a lot of software, especially if I can find stuff that does as good a job in a Web 2.0 type tool, which leads us to our next options. So here's our Inspiration example. Again, the same kind of a thing. Notice a little more graphical, nicer look to it in that with the Inspiration. Prezi. Prezi is software that some of you may have used for presentations, but if you think about it, you've got this blank canvas. You can start brainstorming, popping in ideas. You can create objects around it to frame things and group things together. So Prezi is a really nice tool for that. It's collaborative. There's not only the Web 2.0 app, but you can also use it on an iPad. And now they've actually updated it recently to allow for creating a Prezi on the fly right off of your iPad and add things. So that's a nice way of doing things. It's device agnostic, so it works on multiple devices. It's collaborative. You can actually do a meeting type thing where people are collaborating it just like on a Google Doc, but within the Prezi, collaborating on the thinking map as you go. It's very quick. You know, you can pop it up, open it, start a new one, and start adding information right away. And plus, once you're done, you can actually set up a presentation with that information navigating through the different pieces. Here's an example of Prezi. There's another double bubble, kind of looking at the differences from Prezi and thinking maps, and you can kind of see some of the differences there and similarities. In Edina apps, we have Lucidchart, which is a graphic organizer type tool. Personally, I don't know that it works ideally for thinking maps, having played with it a little bit, but it is a possibility, and it's nice because it's built right into Edina apps. So when you log in and you go to the More section, when you're in like Documents or Drive or Gmail, and you click on More, Lucidchart is one of your options. Here's an example here, updated for today with the election and kind of looking at different aspects of how you can develop a double bubble type map using Lucidchart. You can frame things around this, but it doesn't work quite as well. So that's one aspect of it that I didn't particularly care for, but it is possible to do it that way. The other option is to utilize tools that we already have, like Smart Notebook software or your Promethean Active Inspire. It's already there for many of you who have interactive whiteboards in your classroom. You've got that, you know how to use it, and you can use that to create some pretty nice thinking maps. Here, for example, is one with Smart Notebook. And you can also find other examples on the Smart Notebook website. I just happened to pull this one down of double bubble where you've got some different things here and similarities in that with Smart Notebook. The other option, Active Inspire. Now, the nice thing about Active Inspire, on the Promethean Planet site, they had some specific examples of thinking maps that really tied in, and some templates for double bubble maps, although good NUA people will say that you need to start with the blank canvas and build it from there. But you have that option, or you can start with a blank screen and build those thinking maps right there in Active Inspire on the board, kind of in the brainstorming sessions with your students and things like that. So if you've got an interactive whiteboard in your classroom, you may want to consider using those tools as you're developing it. So I've given you lots of different options, and really the nice thing about it is you can kind of choose and differentiate and pick the tool that's going to work best for you depending on the building you're in and the software that's available. So hopefully that's given you some ideas that will help with using thinking maps in your classroom and with your students on their own devices. As we progress, if you ever have any questions or want to get a follow-up or things like that, please feel free to contact Molly or myself, and we'd be happy to sit down with you and help you make the most of thinking maps in your classroom. Thanks and have a great day.